Good afternoon, hello, welcome to the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Welcome to Derby Runner. Have been here a few months ago. Hello Rob, you okay?
Yeah, you?
Yeah, right, thank you. So Rob runs the Derby Runner, a lot of runs in there. James, good afternoon.
Hello.
This is the guy who obviously goes everywhere with me nowadays.
Yeah.
So we're at the Derby Runner because Rob the Derby Runner has kindly stepped in to help James out with his footwear and other associated needs in the lead up to the Deca. At the time of recording, we're 2 weeks out, and James, you've absolutely been annihilating those trainers that you've currently got in your hand.
So these are a set of Mizuno that I got from Rob the last time I came here, because I've probably been shopping at the Derby Runner well, I would say since I left the army, which would be, what, I don't know, 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
So I've always been sort of in and out here. They're just mega reliable. They've got loads of choice. Yeah. They're the same price as everybody else, including the internet a lot of the times, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. And the advice has been invaluable, not necessarily just in this event, but like when I did my first 100-mile run, for instance, I got some advice off a lady who worked here about footwear, and it worked out perfectly. And they're also good. They always have newer, different stuff to try, so you can reject it before you buy it. You know, like when you're looking on the internet, how do you know if a shoe is gonna feel right? Mm-hmm. Whereas here you can try stuff on, and you just know straight away not to waste your money.
Yeah,
basically.
So we're here today to get James some trainers and some other things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to step back and let Rob and James go through what they normally would do to fit a new pair of trainers. Now it's a bit different because James obviously has been running in his shoes a long time, so he's not going to need a full-on like gait analysis. He's pretty much come in and said, this is what works, I just need some more of them. But like I said, it's worthwhile checking in and making sure that perhaps his feet look okay and they still fit right and that sort of stuff.
So, yeah, so these are what I've been wearing. I wear orthotics, and my orthotics obviously are at the end of their life, but I've got some new orthotics that I've been wearing for a few, so I need to get those in, basically.
Makes sense.
They're neutral because obviously the orthotic does the work.
And that's what you've always wanted to do.
Well, before I had orthotics, I had stability shoes. But what I found is when I first got orthotics, the stability shoes with the orthotics was just overcorrecting, and it was giving me a bit of strain on one of the knees. So I went to neutral, they've been fine. These are pretty cushioned. I like this shoe, but as you know from previous things, I'll try anything and see what works, basically.
Yeah, okay. So based on that history and what worked for you, it sort of narrows it down, but there's still choice within that narrowed down choice.
Lovely, and these are 9.5.
Right, I'll go and get a few options.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob. Right. We were just talking, Rob, about the test for trainers to decide if they're past their life or not. Do you flex them or something? Is that the...
Yeah, so one you can go on the general mileage guideline, which we would say is about 500 miles. But then that's very individual. So, for instance, someone a bit bigger would get much less mileage out of it versus sort of your racing snake out there. But a good, just test the structure of it. So get it, someone with some reasonably strong hands, give it a good squeeze. The easier it folds that way, the more worn out it is, really, in most cases. The structure of the shoe is just starting to fail when it's easy to squeeze it there. When these were new, you couldn't have done that unless you were Eddie Hall or something.
Yeah, they have had a mile or two on them.
Now, I know this is probably a divisive subject, but fancy foam, carbon plates, etc. James is running a marathon a day, hopefully for 10 days. Is there any benefit to those sorts of shoes, in your opinion, in that sort of event, given the pace you're going to be running is between 9.5 to 10.5 minute miles, hopefully?
If I'm lucky. When I'm running, I'll perhaps be doing that. But
what are your thoughts about that?
Potentially, there would be a benefit, because really the benefit in those shoes isn't, as people think instinctively, the benefit is in propelling you along at a faster pace. It's actually not that. It delays fatigue. So that's what increases the runner's performance over time. There is an element of propulsion, I suppose, to the carbon plate, but it's more about delaying the fatigue that sets in towards the end of the run.
That is what I said to James. However, we decided that 2 weeks out, perhaps a bit close to be changing the shoes.
Because it's just such a swing of the pendulum from a traditional cushion shoe. It's perhaps not worth the risk.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll get you in carbon shoes one day, Simple.
I like them straight away. They feel lighter than those.
Yeah, they're lighter.
They see everything here. They feel. They do feel lighter. Is there less padding in the forefoot?
So James, one of my colleagues at work, came here a little while ago, maybe a year or so ago, or maybe a bit longer, and that gentleman behind us was working here.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't twig that, and he asked the person who was working here, "Do you do much running?" And he said, "Yeah, I do a bit of cross country and road racing and stuff."
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, are you doing the Midlands this weekend?" And he said, "No, I'm focusing on the Nationals." And my colleague said, "Oh, all right, nice one. That'll be good. Have you done it before? What are you hoping to do?" And he was like, "Well, I'm hoping to win it."
I see him on Temeswell Trails training.
Yeah, I've seen him in Alverton before. Yeah, brilliant. So yeah, there you go. My colleague will remember that now.
I'm going into this fit and ready, so I stand a slightly less than 50% chance of doing it. That's really bad, isn't it? So yeah, even when you get to the start line and you're pretty well prepared, you stand a 48% chance of getting to finish.
I'm surprised there's enough people done it that even the stats are
Well,
It's 12 entered.
11.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so. It's difficult to know the exact figures because there's obviously people do these sort of races off their own back and all sorts of weird governing bodies, but there's about between 150 and 200 people in the world have ever done it. So
Insert Jeremy Clarkson in the world.
yeah, but who knows? Who knows? The real one to go for is the triple decker because more people have walked on the moon. How cool's that? That's mad, isn't it?
It's crazy, isn't it?
Because that's the other thing, of course, with the orthotics, the drop is jacked right up.
Yeah.
Because obviously you've got.
Yeah.
So it sort of changes the shoe
Yeah,
completely.
all the things that would typically be listed in a magazine about, what the shoe's attributes are. Your orthotic can totally change it.
Yeah.
So.
Because that's why I thought I'd get away with those Ultra shoes.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was saying to Dan, I trained for a whole year in them, introducing them dead gradually because there's no drop in them and all that, and I do orthotic. They feel quite good actually.
It's a popular one with orthotic wear as well.
While James is just trying on 53 million pairs of trainers, thought I'd just show around the rest of the shop. So there's absolutely all sorts in here. Running clothes, accessories, yoga mats, insoles, those things everybody wears on ultramarathons, so you put bottles in your top thing. Essentially everything you can think of you might need for running and other related sports, there's something here. Sail rail from all over that. So yeah.
I mean, it was exactly
Range of brands and accessories, worthwhile checking out. It's like I took a child out to get his first light up trainers.
Yeah.
He's running around and jumping around.
Yeah. These are slightly bigger.
Yeah. You see, you want to try trail as well?
Yeah, I think I ought to buy a pair of trail trainers. One, mine are ruined, and two, I think if it rains, because you're over a little bit of grass and on some, I just want that extra bit of grip just in case it turns into some sort of slippy mud bath.
So not too extreme trail.
No. I would like basically a road shoe, but with a bit more grip. Yeah, if you've got some.
Yeah, I'll bring some there.
Both of them.
Well, while we decided, I'll get some trail shoes out.
That feels exactly like every other shoe that I would normally wear.
Yep.
So it's almost as if that is a perfect replacement for that.
Yep.
It's perhaps fractionally lighter than this, but it's an excellent shoe. And I love Mizuno. I don't know why. And if you covered up the label, because I don't care about, but Mizuno seem to suit me. But this Brooks shoe feels really, really comfortable, and it feels as if the front foot wants to make you go forward.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's a disadvantage or an advantage.
Yeah. So I've got the stability version of those, the Brooks. That's what I run in day to day. Yeah, I like a similar thing. I liked how it felt.
It feels like it wants to throw you forward. But I think that's what I think. I imagine that the last has got more curve on it, maybe, or something, and it just.
Don't know. Try swapping them around. Put what?
Yeah, I think the issue is the implications of that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Does that?
Well, you'll get used to it after 20 minutes or so, or even on the treadmill.
These are lovely.
Yeah.
These feel a little bit more cushioned, but without being alien.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take these, safe in the knowledge that I have a pair that's very similar to those.
Yeah.
These do feel very cushioned. I can walk in them as well, which I quite liked.
Good. Brooks,
And they motivated me.
Brooks Glycerin. Got it.
Brooks Glycerin 20.
Okay.
Like I say, I wear Mizuno a lot.
Yeah.
And they are, you know, an old faithful, I know, but these do feel very comfortable.
You'll be in my size 13s by the end of the week. Your feet are.
Yeah, probably. So yes, I'm going to go with those.
Got it.
Those?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the way a lot of shoes are going now.
Yeah.
So it's got that beveled midsole that will roll you through a bit more.
That's the idea. I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
They've given out the hottest July record.
I know, I've seen that. So James, why?
You're right in the heat.
I'm better than him in the heat. We went to Mallorca on a training camp, and he had a bit of a hissy fit about it. It was funny.
I'm just not built for it.
I'm not particularly very heat.
I'm more of an insulator than a shedder of heat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a. I'm not good at anything, but I'm good at knowing. You just have to go slower, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, true.
And you've got an ice machine.
Yeah, drink more, go slower. My mate's lending me an ice machine.
Hey, that's
plug-in ice machine. So that could be handy.
Oh, sorry, James, it's all in the sangria. Barbecue.
Yeah.
So, James, trying on some trail shoes now. What's the purpose of trail shoes?
One of the run route is a little. It's only a 1.1 mile loop, isn't it? There's a little bit of grass and a little bit of trail. And what I'm thinking is if we get bad weather, I just don't want to be slipping all over the gaff. So I thought a pair with slightly more grip.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the exact ones I've got.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't buy these if I had a pair of trail trainers that weren't completely fallen to bits at home. I'd make do with what I got, but my trail trainers at home are absolutely smashed to death. So I think it would make sense to get some just in case.
Sensible.
What were your last pair, James? Your last trail shoes?
I've got a pair of Mizuno ones that are Gore-Tex, which I hate. I'll never buy Gore-Tex trainers again. And then I got a pair of Peregrine?
Yes, I believe Peregrine.
Peregrine, yeah. Which, the problem with them is, they're 3D printed, but they literally just come apart on the toe box, like. And they're probably, it's never put me off, because I've had about 3 consecutive pairs of them, or whatever maybe. I haven't bought any for a while, but it's just a weakness, isn't it, this 3D printed knitting thing. It's, sometimes
You burst out of them.
Yeah.
When you're saying there's a rock plate in the Brooks and not in them, what do you mean, Rob? Is it like a solid thing?
Like, yeah, use a flexible plastic plate between the cushioning system and the outsole.
Yeah.
So if a sharp stone gets trodden on, it doesn't poke up through your shoe and hurt your foot.
Okay. That's something that sort of, if you're running more regular normal trail then you might want, but for this specific
probably less
race,
important. The surfaces will all be good. It's more of a grip thing if we get
that's interesting.
bad rain.
Or even just the path becoming well trodden. 1.1 mile loop. There's other people doing different events, like a continuous event as well, and things like it's a lot of footfall, isn't it?
There's a marathon, isn't there, even?
Yeah, there's a marathon a day. There's a fair few athletes.
300-mile run as well.
On the same loop.
Yeah.
No, they let you do the last lap of the day the opposite way around.
No, last lap of the whole thing.
That's nice. Just that one.
Yeah, that's definitely that's a no. That's straight away.
Okay.
That's
all right. Trail shoes selected, James. What have you picked and why?
I've picked some New Balance. They've got orange, and also look, it says Mega Grip, which is basically what I'm looking for, isn't it? No, I'm not. I'm just looking for something that actually feels as close to a road shoe as I can, but has a few knobbles on the bottom, just in case it gets a bit slippy. If I don't wear these during the event, I need a pair of trail shoes anyway, so it's all grist to the mill, and they'll get used up running on Teversal trails on a Saturday morning anyway, when I feel like running again, obviously. But they're comfortable, they're soft and comfortable. They're not mega traily, you perhaps wouldn't want to throw yourself down, off Mount Snowdon or something on them, but they're comfy and great. So,
Good stuff. Okay, nice.
Yeah, they're good.
Okay, I think we are all sorted. Are we all sorted, chaps?
Yeah.
We're all sorted, look.
Yeah.
Rob has absolutely sorted James
All good to go.
out. Trainers, jackets, etc. Everything you could wish for. Just
Yeah.
got to do it now.
I cannot thank Derby Runner enough. Thank you.
Perfect.
Good luck,
Thank you.
Cheers.
mate.
God bless.
All the links to Derby Runner are in the description down below, so please do check them out if you haven't already. Let's go. See you
Thanks.
soon.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, James. All the best, mate.